So is Roman Reigns still suspended? Did Brock Lesnar show up? Did Braun let us know who his tag team partner was going to be for the tag team match at WrestleMania? All this and more on Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. Let's do it. Wrestle fans, and welcome to Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. That's me, Bryan Kelly. And thank you very much for showing up and giving me some time here to talk to you about Raw. It came to us from Cleveland last night, March 27th, 2018. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We're a couple of weeks out. There's still some questions to be answered. Who's John Cena going to face if The Undertaker doesn't show up? If The Undertaker doesn't show up, because I'm sure he's not going to show up, right? What is Brock Lesnar's what is Braun Strowman's status as far as a tag team partner goes? Because he's got a championship match against The Bar at WrestleMania for the Raw tag team titles. What's going on with that? All kinds of stuff going on. We got a lot of storyline. A couple of okay matches. The actual matches weren't, great, but we're dealing with a lot more story and dealing with a lot more pushing along, getting to WrestleMania. So we got to kind of let some of this stuff go. So we start off with Paulie and Brock coming out to the ring. And basically Paulie does his same thing where he says, Brock is the man. He's the undisputed champion. And he's here, and let me show you what he did to your boy Roman Reigns last week. We go to the video, Titantron video at home, and we show last week Roman and getting handcuffed by the federal marshals and jacking those guys up, and then Brock coming out and destroying Roman with a chair while he was still handcuffed. But this is the genius part. Paulie it's so good. It's really good genius writing. But Paulie goes, Roman Reigns has been raised in this business and has been raised to be a wrestler, raised to be a fighter, raised to be a Samoan badass. But he wasn't raised to be a man, because if he was a man, he would be here right now. And instead, he's not. He said his suspension has been lifted, but he's not here. And then he said something really cool that kind of got Roman off the hook for attacking federal marshals. He goes, if last week the roles were reversed and you were smart enough to go down to the local gym or wherever he said and pick out 3 big dudes and buy them U.S. Marshal costumes, it wasn't really U.S. Marshals, everybody. Genius stuff. And you had beaten up Brock, even though he was handcuffed. Brock would still be here and he would still lay the title down. He went into much more detail, much more vivid detail, but Paulie's the man. So he says, Roman's not here, even though his suspension has been lifted, but Brock's here and he's the man. Oh no, who's coming out of the crowd? And Roman starts to walk out of the crowd very slowly. He grabs a chair, and right near the timekeepers area there where the bell is kept, he grabs a chair and starts to go for Brock. Brock jumps down and just plows over Roman, chair and all. Just boom, just knocks him the fuck out. It was crazy. They're trying, I don't know what they're trying to do, because it started to work with this Brock's never here thing. And people started kind of getting behind Roman. But the more they let Brock just beat the hell out of Roman, the more people are just kind of cheering it. Last night, by the time Brock had, because what happened was he knocks him over with the chair, and then he goes to pick Roman up, and Roman pushes Brock into the steel post, kind of giving him a second. Then he picks the chair back up, clocks Brock a couple times in the back with the chair, kind of chasing him around the ring, cocks his fist. I wish he'd stop doing that. And then goes to jump off of the steps and give Lesnar a Superman punch. But Lesnar catches him in midair and then just throws him back and suplexes him. And from then on, it's just Brock beating the shit out of Roman again. He picks up the top part of the steel steps and racks him in the face with it and just about knocks Roman out. Then he throws him into the ring, rolls Roman into the ring, and then hits him again with the fucking stairs, starts to leave, decides to come back and F5s him onto the stairs. Just destroyed fucking Roman. And by the end of it, people were cheering him. That didn't happen the first time. That wasn't what was happening. And it's like they're letting Brock go too far into this, and it's starting to turn on him again. I don't know why they have such a hard time booking Roman. It's so fucking weird. I love the guy. I think he's great. But it's like every time they start to take 2 steps forward, they take 2 steps back by doing something like this. They should have had it a little bit more back and forth. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyways, Brock and Paul walk. We go to a commercial. We come back from the commercial, and Roman's still kind of limping and walking up the stairs. I don't know why they chose to show us that on the back end of the commercial break, but they did. Then we get Nia Jax coming out, looking awesome. I like her new entrance, and Titantron stuff is really cool. Irresistible force. Cool. Instead of the eyes looking around like this. I still don't like that song. It's so on the nose. I'm not like most girls. Yeah, we get it. I understand that. Then we get Mickie and Alexa coming out. Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, because apparently Mickie James is going to take on Nia Jax. And before they even get in the ring, they start sniping at each other. Nia's in the ring cackling, and Mickie and Alexa are cackling back and forth. It was pretty funny. And so we get Nia versus Mickie, and Mickie gets Nia to the outside at one point and chops her knee when Nia turns around to kind of head at Alexa. And from there, about 2-3 minutes, Mickie kind of had the advantage and kind of took advantage of Nia's knee. But in the end, Nia's just a beast and she's too strong. So Samoan drops her. She catches her coming off the rope. Mickie got up on the rope to do something, and Nia walks over and just picks her up and presses her, drops her down on her shoulders, Samoan drop, and picks up the win. After that, Alexa jumps Nia, and Nia it had no effect. She just kind of smacks her once, and Nia just turns around and goes, "Oh, bitch," and starts to chase her. And so Alexa and Mickie start to head off the ramp, and Nia's in the ring just trying so hard not to swear, but she did. She goes something, something, something. At first she said "little bliss," because I guess that's an inside thing or whatever. And then she goes, "Little bitch." She straight up called her a little bitch. And then, because Alexa's standing on the ramp, just kind of watching, just kind of looking at her, you hear Nia go, "Oh, you're just going to stand there?" And starts to get out of the ring, and Alexa takes off to the back. It was really good. That little end segment was very cool. I like that a lot. After that, we go to a commercial, and we come back from the commercial, and we see a Stephanie McMahon, Triple H kind of training montage where they talk about, "Look, man, this could have all been easy. This could have all been fine. Kurt Angle is the one who started all of this stuff and who got Ronda all worked up. But at the end of the day, she works for us and she's going to work for us. So at WrestleMania, we're going to take care of business." And then they start to talk about Hunter and Stephanie train 24/7. They never take days off. You talk about being ready, they're ready. They had this trainer, their personal trainer. I've trained athletes for Super Bowls, for MMA, for boxing, for all of it. And these guys are just as ready, if not more ready, kind of really trying to pimp them up as, the dominant athletic force. She's stepping into our world, and in our world, we make the rules. That kind of thing. And after that, we come out, we have a 205 Live Cruiserweight tag team match between Drew Gulak, TJP on one side and Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali on the other side. Mustafa Ali and Cedric, of course, are going to be battling it out over the cruiserweight title at WrestleMania. Hopefully it's not on the kickoff show. I hope it kicks off the actual WrestleMania show, but I hope they don't put it on the pre-show because that's going to be a great match. That's going to be one of the best pound for pound, move for move wrestling matches of the entire evening. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. But so this was an okay match. It was just kind of a highlight of those guys. There was no real drama to it. Cedric hits a lumbar check on TJP and was gonna pin him, but when he got whipped into the ropes right before he hit that, Mustafa had tagged himself in. So Cedric's like, what? I can't pin him? He's like, no, he tagged in. So Mustafa climbs up the rope, 450 splash, and they pick up the win. They just kind of smile at each other, go, hey, man, I got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. So that was really, it was just kind of a filler match. That's what I mean earlier when I said there wasn't a ton of great matches. There was some good matches. It's a lot of filler stuff like that. Even the Mickey Nia match was filler. So after that, we get a commercial. When we come back from the commercial, we've got the Miztourage and Miz standing in the ring. And he starts to say, I don't like to air personal business in private. I like to air it in public. Okay. And he says, and I'm very disappointed in the Miztourage. Are you guys having a good time? Because I'm not happy the last 2 weeks because you two have been off doing your own thing. I've been getting my ass kicked out here by numerous people. And the Miztourage is just like, what? What did we do? We're just sorry, man. We all got suits. We're all cool. Look at our suits. And that Seth comes out. And Seth is like, whoa. I know I'm supposed to be a guest on Miz TV tonight, but I just had to come out here and kind of play mediator a little bit. Sounds to me, Miz, like the Miztourage feels underappreciated. Like you don't appreciate them. And you never, when was the last time you said thank you? And Miz is like, thank you for what? And he goes, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even be the Intercontinental Champion. They're the ones that help you win all the time. And if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even be the champion. And he starts getting the crowd to chant, Miztourage, Miztourage. It was really cute. And he says, I am the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. I am this, I am that. And then he says, I am, and before he can finish, Bo Dallas says, a phony A-lister that can't fight. Oh, the whole crowd does that. Everybody's like, whoa, what did Bo just say? He's like, and Finn from the back hears that, and his music starts, and Finn comes out. It's like, whoa. He goes, I know it was very loud in here, and there's lots of emotions running high and everything, and maybe you couldn't hear what Bo Dallas said. And he gets into the ring, and he goes, what Bo just said was that you were the biggest jerk he ever met in his life. And Bo's like, no, that's not what I said. I said he was a phony A-lister who couldn't fight. Shit, did I really say that out loud? And, kind of did that thing where he realized, oh, you tricked me into saying it. Damn it. And Miz kind of looks up, walks over to him and goes, say that again. And he starts to say it again. He goes, I said you were, and Miz smacks him in the face. And then Miz goes on a little speech where he goes, you're letting them play us. We're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and you're letting them play us. You're letting them put us against each other. I am the greatest IC champion of all time. I'm better than Macho Man. I'm better than Shawn Michaels. I'm better than Mr. Perfect, which is Curtis Axel's dad. Oh, and Curtis has his back to Miz at this point. And he's just standing. He's like, did he just say he was better than my dad? Did this motherfucker? And Miz is like, oh, shit. Okay, look, I let it slip. I'm very sorry. He starts going, Axel, it slipped. Axel, It was just, I didn't mean to do anything. It was just, I'm very sorry. And Miz is slowly backing up. Finn and Seth are behind him with Axel and Bo kind of coming in at him. He's like, whoa, look, guys, nobody wants to see this. To which the crowd pops huge and goes, yeah, we want to see you get your ass kicked. And he back it up. He's like, dude, I'm really sorry. It's slipped. And he bumps into Finn and Seth. And he's like, oh, shit. And it's really funny. As soon as he bumps into Finn and Seth, Finn goes, hey, Miz. You can't hear it, but you can clearly see him go, hey, Miz. It's really funny. And so they're coming in at him. And then at the last second, Miz goes to cover up almost. And the Miztourage attack Seth and Finn as Miz walks between them with a big smile on his face. It was a ruse the whole time. It was just a way to get into Seth and Finn's head. The Miztourage is fine. Miz is okay with them. Everything's great. They attack him, start beating him down. As they start beating him down, Anderson and Gallows heads out to kind of save Finn from getting a skull-crushing finale. And they battle the Miztourage up the ramp so that only Miz and Finn and Seth are left in the ring. Finn sling blades the Miz, and Seth goes for a curb stomp on Miz, but he kind of rolls and then stands up near the rope, and Seth runs over and kind of clotheslines him over the rope to get him out of the ring. When Seth turns around, Finn bashes him in the shoulder, in the elbow, he gets a forearm for his troubles, man. Knocks, bam. So Finn kind of healing up a little bit of a heel turn for Finn. That would be very awesome. I'd love to see that. He steps over him, picks up the IC title, holds it high, and does that beautiful Irish smile. It's awesome. So that was a really good segment. I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. Miz is always wonderful. Finn and Seth are always wonderful. And I really dig the Miztourage too. I think those guys are great. Next, we get a Kane Boiler Room promo where he does his Freddy Krueger impression and John Cena, blah, 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 blah. I honestly didn't pay attention that much because it's 26 years of Kane promos at this point, or however long he's been in the business, and it's all the same promo. That's why I actually liked Corporate Kane, because at least it was different. After that, we get an Asuka entrance because Asuka is going to face Jamie Frost. You've never heard of Jamie Frost? Well, neither have I. Jamie Frost is this cute little blonde girl, platinum haired, more, I guess, that kind of grayish thing, short to the side. And she's being interviewed outside of the ring for the first time that I remember any of these kind of squash match opponents being interviewed. They even gave her a crawl at the bottom of the screen that had her name, Jamie Frost. Maybe they're going to start doing that with all of the enhancement talent, or maybe she's a new signee who's going to start making waves. I don't know, but she has a great fucking look, and she had a real good confidence on the mic. They said, so how do you feel about tonight? Well, and she said, everybody says nobody's ready for Asuka. Well, Asuka doesn't know anything about me. I think they said this was her first match, her first professional wrestling match. And she said, Asuka doesn't know anything about me, so I think Asuka's not ready for me. And she's dead. And so Jamie Frost gets into the ring with Asuka, and she slaps her. I remember that. She smacks her hard right across the face. And then Asuka kicks her in the head once, and that bitch went down like a sack of potatoes. It was crazy. She kicked her so hard, my TV shook a little bit. It was nuts. 1, 2, 3, pin, it's over. She's got a Twitter. I just started following her on Twitter, because that's not her real name. Jamie Frost, that's not your name. So I'll give you guys the Twitter if any, because nobody's watching this at the moment, but who knows? Somebody might start watching it later. Ellie Friedrichs, ELLIEFREDRICKS _ Jamie Frost. And yeah, she was awesome. Just that little kind of promo she did and then getting in the ring and she sold that kick like it took her head off. It was great. And after that, that was it. And then Asuka just kind of said, hey, I'm Asuka, and fucked off. Nothing more. Then we have a kind of a commentary segment where the three guys on commentary, Corey, Michael, and Coach, run down the Ultimate Deletion, just kind of talk about it, just kind of show some images from it and run through it. And then after that, we get a Matt Hardy promo, a Woken Matt Hardy promo in his illuminated white room. I don't know why it took me 3 times to say that. And he says, Bray Wyatt is no more. The Great War is over. And I'm going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal because apparently they don't know what to do with me. I made that last part up, except he is going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And says, anybody who stands in my way will be deleted, which is awesome. After that, we get a Sasha Banks and Bayley locker room promo that I saw somebody on Twitter say it looked like Saved by the Bell, and it kind of did. But Sasha says, hey man, did you get my text? Or no, she goes, hey, I got your text. She's like, good. And Bayley turns to walk away. She goes, that's it? She goes, yeah, that's it, man. I can't do this with you anymore. It's always about you, Sasha. You're the boss. You always like that I always cow down to you, that it's always about you. It's never about me, blah, 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 blah. And Sasha goes, that's right. I am the boss. And maybe you should step up and people around here wouldn't think you were such a loser. And she goes, I'm a loser. And Sasha goes, I've been women's champ 4 times, Raw Women's Champion 4 times. And Bayley goes, yeah, how long did you keep them? That's some shady shit, because we all know Sasha can't defend a title. And that's all Sasha needed. Bayley turns to walk away, and she grabs her by that side ponytail and slams her into the lockers, and they make a loud noise, and then they start battling all over the backstage area. A great brawl. I love it when female wrestlers brawl and they don't pull each other's hair afterwards. You know, pulling her hair back to slam her into the, guy. I've seen guys do that. But a lot of times these women's backstage brawls end in them just grabbing onto each other's hair and pulling each other's hair, and it looks like a bar fight or something. But that wasn't this. These girls got hard on each other, and it was pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward. But I guess they're both in the Battle Royal. They're both in the women's WrestleMania Battle Royal, so I guess they're going to battle it out there a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I think this is leading to SummerSlam. I think they're really going to build Sasha and Bayley's resentment towards each other, and the culmination of this feud will end at SummerSlam. So where were we? Here we are. So refs come out, backstage people come out, break them up, pull Sasha off, pull Bayley off. They're just, it was a really good segment though. After that, we get a Braun Strowman entrance and a commercial. After the commercial, we come back and we have the Bar coming out to the ring to say, hey there, fella, we figured out what's up with you. You like to surprise people. That's why your theme goes, Braun. It's because it scares people. That's the only reason you won the Tag Team Battle Royal. That's the only reason anybody's scared of you. So, to take away the element of surprise, we want to know who your tag team partner is for WrestleMania. You need to tell us so that we can do research and figure out who we're fighting at WrestleMania. So, give us the info. And Braun says, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who I'm fighting, who my partner is at WrestleMania. All you have to do is beat me tonight, Sheamus, right now. Because he's apparently going to fight Sheamus because Cesaro came out in sweatpants or something. And Sheamus is like, well, that's not fair because I can't beat you. So we get a Sheamus and Braun match, which Sheamus did really good. He had a little help from Cesaro to distract Braun here and there, but Sheamus got in some really good offense. Couple of false finishes, kind of looked like maybe things were going one way, and then a power slam later. Sheamus loses to Braun, 1, 2, 3, and that's that match. Again, kind of a filler match. Didn't really, wasn't really anything to it. Kurt Angle comes out to the ring because he is going to introduce Ronda Rousey. He says, here's my guest, Ronda Rousey, and I'm very happy that we're fighting at WrestleMania, and this is going to be awesome. Here's Ronda. Joan Jett hits. Ronda comes out. Ronda kind of timid on the mic still, kind of working it out. Or maybe this is just her character, and she's doing a thing where I don't talk like every other girl or wrestler, Crowd was a little bit assholes. There was some whats in there. But then again, it's Cleveland. What do you expect? But she says, I'm going to rip Steph's arm out of her socket. And with that line, Absolution's music hits. And Paige and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come waltzing out to the ring. And Paige cuts this promo as she's getting into the ring saying, look, I know you're new here and I respect you and I like what you've done, but this is a tough business and this is a tough place to be and you need friends. So what do you say you become the fourth member of Absolution? And Ronda goes, no, I just got here, so go fuck yourself. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And Paige goes, well, baby girl, she keeps calling her baby girl. You could have had best friends in us, but now you're going to have enemies. So that's the way that works. Sorry. Fuck her shit up. Mandy Rose goes for a very weak slap or something on Ronda. I don't know if they told her don't really swing on her or what, but she does this kind of half-hearted. And Kurt catches her arm. And when Kurt catches her arm and everybody's looking at Mandy, Sonya from behind clocks Ronda in the back of the dome. And Ronda I think Ronda caught her is what it was. My notes aren't very thorough, sorry. Not like anybody's watching anyway. But she goes to hit her, and I think Ronda catches her and then just kind of clotheslines her, and it looked bad. I'm really pulling for Ronda, and I want her to do well. And, man, I'm on board, and I'm buying the shirts and everything else. But that looked rough. And then she gets into the corner, and I don't remember how she did this. I should have been more thorough with my notes, I suppose. But she did the ugly clothesline to Sonya. And then she grabbed Mandy and she basically threw Mandy into Sonya, but it looked bad. It just didn't look great. She put her up and just kind of threw. It didn't look great. The thing that did look great that she did is she hip flipped Mandy into an arm bar, which was great. Mandy comes running at her at one point, and she hip flips her into this arm bar and holds onto this arm. And Kurt's down there playing like Scarlet, like fucking Black Widow from the Avengers. Sun's going down. Hey there, big fella. Sun's getting real low. You can see it. She's like, ready to break her arm. And Kurt's like, it's okay. Tranquilo. Just relax. And so finally she lets go of her arm. And we get, after the commercial, the Anderson and Gallows. The Anderson and Gallows, I was going to say the club, but Anderson and Gallows comes out because we're going to have a match because of what happened earlier with the Miztourage. Oh, man, I need to take a second. Jesus, calm down. This is the first time I've ever vaped on camera. Sorry about that. I guess I'm just going a million miles an hour, not thinking about stuff. I'm blowing through this. We're already 30 minutes in and we're almost at the end of the goddamn show. Excuse me. Okay, I might edit all that out. You might not even see that. Who knows? Okay. So we have the Miztourage versus Anderson and Gallows. It was a very good match. It was one of the better matches I've seen Anderson and Gallows put on since they've been on WWE television. Really good stuff. I like those guys a lot. I wish they were in the title picture more. Maybe after WrestleMania, Finn will win the Intercontinental title and they'll push them more. as a tag team or push them more as a club, push them more as a faction. But everybody was good in it. Bo was great in it. Axel's great in it. I like both of those guys too. At the end, though, there was a magic killer to Curtis Axel for the win for the club. So, again, just a kind of a filler match. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of there. But then again, we're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. So I guess they're not supposed to mean anything yet. We get a commercial, and after we come back from a commercial, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elias. And Elias is sitting in the ring with his Mitchell-made guitar, cheapest guitar. Guitar Center owns that brand, by the way. Guitar Center owns Mitchell. So anytime you see a Mitchell guitar, you're basically buying a Guitar Center brand guitar. Just saying. And they obviously have an endorsement deal with Guitar Center. So Elias does his typical, what does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. He's had some really cool lines. He says, last week I sold out Madison Square Garden in New York City. And he goes, it's a huge disappointment being here in Cleveland tonight. Which I can understand. He said, and this is the greatest line because he said it with all the sincerity of a musician or performer. He said, I am truly embarrassed to be here tonight. It was great. He runs down the city, talks about LeBron leaving. Said, don't worry, his bags are packed. Don't worry, he's leaving again too. How bad are the Browns? Seriously. And so he said he was playing a song and he was talking about, and in the middle of it, he said, at least I'm not a Brown. And then he stops in the middle of it. And he goes, how bad are the Browns? Seriously. And then Rhino comes out, interrupts him with Heath Slater because we're going to get Rhino versus Elias. Again, match doesn't mean anything. Let me check. There was no matches on this entire show that meant anything. This might be the very first time since I've been watching Raw that none of these matches literally meant anything. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, Heath comes out with Rhino, and this match was, nobody expected Rhino to do anything, and he really didn't. He got a little bit of offense in, but at the end there was a drift away and 1, 2, 3 for Elias win. And then Elias kind of eyeballs Heath and gives him a drift away and walks out of the ring. After that, we get a John Cena video package where he's calling out The Undertaker for the last 3 weeks and saying, you're letting your ego, blah, 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 and all this shit he's saying. I'll talk about this in a minute once we get through the match. But it also goes into his beef with Kane, where Kane came out last week and was like, maybe this is his answer. And then Kane choke slams him. So we go to a commercial after the video package. We come back to John Cena's entrance, and then Kane comes out, and we're going to get John Cena versus Kane in a no disqualification match. Brutal match. Kind of a throwback to like 2006, 2008. I mean, I felt bad for Kane, Glenn Jacobs a couple of times. I'm like, man, that's a 50-year-old man. Y'all need to relax. But there was a barricade spot where John kind of laid one of the barricades up by the commentator's table on the stage area and Kane suplexed John into it. But he did it really gingerly. You could just tell they're trying not to hurt each other before WrestleMania, but some of it looked brutal. There was a chair spot on the ramp during the commercial break that they showed in kind of a picture-in-picture where the chairs were set up kind of perpendicular on the ramp, and Kane threw John into him. Once we get back into the ring, John starts mocking Taker. He's laid out, and he does the thing where he sits straight up, and then he does the cutthroat thing. He does a choke slam. He choke slams Kane. And then Kane grabs a table and throws a table inside the ring. And throws Cena. He kind of leans it up against the turnbuckle. You know how they do? Long ways. Kind of bounces Cena through that. And Cena took it great. It looked awesome. Then Kane grabs another table and sets it up in the ring and tries to choke slam John through it. John jumps out of it, picks him up, AA's Kane through the table. 1, 2, 3, Cena wins. And that's the end of that match. And almost the end of Raw. Almost. We still have a John Cena promo. So, I don't need notes for this because it's kind of in my head. So John Cena grabs the mic after his win against Kane, and he starts to call out Taker again. He goes, no lightning, no thunder, no smoke, nothing. Nothing again, nothing. Starts calling him out. Do something. Tells the crowd, starts chanting, starts dropping those hints for the crowd. Everywhere I go, all over the country, they chant your name. And then they start chanting. It's getting old to me. I love John Cena. I love what they're doing. I would love to see Taker and John Cena. That sounds great. Sure. I don't mind. It's WrestleMania. Whatever show you're going to put on, I'm probably going to like anyway because I'm a huge mark for you guys and for wrestling in general. So I don't care. But every week him coming out and kind of ragging on Taker and every week nothing happening is getting kind of boring. It's to the point now where next week if Taker does show up, it's not going to be oh my God, Taker's here. It's going to be finally something else. So that's all I'll say. I'm not bagging on them. I know they're doing their best with what they have and what Mark's schedule is letting him do and what he feels like doing and what they're trying to build it. I totally get that. And like I said, I'm not trying to, play Tuesday morning Booker, if that's a phrase. But it's just getting boring to me. It's getting boring listening to John bag on Taker every week. It's just getting boring. And I like John Cena a lot. I like him more than most people. More than most guys, wrestling fans my age. Let's put it that way. And then that was it. He rolled his eyes back as he walked to the ramp, looking into the camera like, watch me mock you more. And then walked to the back, and that was the end of Raw. I wasn't happy with the ending. I thought it should have... I think John's promo should have been before his match. That way, the match could have ended with him winning and with him like kind of maybe looking at the camera and pointing at the sign and going do something or something like that. Him just kind of dropping a promo, dropping the mic and walking out, and that being in the end of the show was kind of weird. And I didn't like that. I don't like that Roman came out and just got his ass kicked the first fucking 10 minutes of the show and then we never saw him again. I don't like that. I like Roman Reigns. I want to see him on TV more. That's just me. So anyway, what do you guys think about Raw? I loved it. I'm looking really forward to a WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a fantastic WrestleMania. I don't remember the last time I looked forward to one this much. Every match on there. Shinsuke and AJ tag titles with Braun, Usos and New Day and Bludgeon Brothers. The IC title match between Finn, Seth, and The Miz. I mean, just across the board, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm really looking forward to it. We got SmackDown tonight. Bryan is back. So who knows what's going to happen on SmackDown and WrestleMania with Bryan involved. But I'm going to do a review of that and a recap of that, and that'll be up tomorrow. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, you can do so at Calling Spots Pod. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, it's Calling Spots Podcast. If you want to get a hold of me on Facebook, it's Calling Spots Podcast. Or email me at callingspotspodcast@gmail.com. All of these are available in the description below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. This is Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. See you guys.